With diverse flora and fauna, magnificent natural landscapes, and an ecological biosphere that supports life, this wondrous planet is our earthly home. From our animal co-inhabitants to the lush rainforests and life-giving soil, we cherish all these as gifts from the Creator. It is a common theme in the world's major faiths that during our temporary stay here, we should be good stewards of Mother Earth. Throughout the years, Supreme Master Ching Hai has shared the message of leading a balanced life while following a spiritual path. Not only must we nourish our spirits, but we share the responsibility to care for nature and our fellow beings. In light of recent scientific evidence, which pinpoint the raising of livestock as the #1 contributor to climate change, Supreme Master Ching Hai affirms the important message she has noted for over the past 2 decades. We must be vegan and practice sustainable living. We invite you to listen to a compilation of excerpts from Supreme Master Ching Hai's lectures entitled The Best Way to Restore the Biodiversity of Our Planet.
Supreme Master Ching Hai's lectures are not a complete meditation instruction. Please do not try alone. For free of charge guidance, please visit www.godsdirectcontact.org or contact any of our centers near you.
What effect does meat consumption have on biodiversity?
Charlie, meat consumption has a huge destructive impact on biodiversity, which is essential for our Earth to function and thus must be preserved. No matter how small, each species has a role to help balance our ecosystem, scientifically proven. And yet, consumption of both fish and animal flesh continue and are wreaking havoc on biodiversity around the globe. In the oceans and fresh waterways, so many species of fish have already been lost, with complete aquatic environments such as coral reefs being decimated by such practices as trawling and fishing with explosives. On land, meat consumption is responsible for vast regions being cleared for grazing crops, such as soy that are fed to livestock. One example is seen in the deforested Amazon areas that have gone from lush forests to bare fields used for cattle grazing or primarily animal feed crops. With these activities essentially robbing our biodiversity, there has been an alarming rise in the disappearance of plants and animals. 2005 Millennium Ecosystem Assessment Report noted that some 30% of the mammal, bird, and amphibian species currently are threatened with extinction, all due to human actions. And one of the most comprehensive studies ever conducted in the field is now forecasting that over 1 million species will be lost in the coming 50 years. Isn't that a sad affair? Besides the land being cleared for livestock raising, the livestock itself causes further biodiversity loss due to potent greenhouse gas emissions, which accelerate global warming. Many studies have documented a decline in populations of penguins, polar bears, plants, trees, migratory birds, and many others, all linked to rising temperatures on the planet. Even desert animals have been affected, like the Malian elephant, that have been perishing in high numbers because their trunks can no longer reach the sinking groundwater. The answer to all this, is quite clear. Stop the meat consumption. Stop it yesterday. This will eliminate the so-called need for livestock raising, which will immediately return immense amounts of land to natural sustainability or to natural growing methods that allow biodiversity to be replenished. This is the way we need to go, and fast. The United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization said that the livestock industry is the major cause of the most pressing world problems, namely global warming, land degradation, air and water pollution, and loss of biodiversity. Can you believe this? It's like that. For example, global warming, with no animal breeding industry, we immediately stop the number one cause of greenhouse gases emissions. Not just CO2, not just carbon dioxide, but also methane, nitrous oxide, black carbon from burning down the trees for the livestock, and also toxic gases like hydrogen sulfide. This kind of gas, even you just breathe once, you die immediately. If it's a strong enough concentration. Some of them are much more potent than CO2, like nitrous oxide. The livestock sector is the number one source of nitrous oxide emissions, and it is almost 300 times more heat trapping than the CO2 over a 100-year period. Now, methane and black carbon are what scientists call short-lived gases, meaning although they are very potent climate warmers, they dissipate and exit the atmosphere very quickly. And it's not just the global warming we are talking about. If we are vegan, we don't have to worry about avian flu, which was found in 22 out of 33 provinces in Indonesia alone. Yes? And has caused millions of poultry deaths and caused many human fatalities in Indonesia. More human deaths in your country than in any other country due to the deadly form of avian flu. If we are vegan, Indonesia's coral reefs, known as the Amazon of the seas, for its thousands of marine species, will be left in peace and beauty. And it will protect us. The coral reef is a protector of our lives, of the sea. Right now, it is endangered, the coral reef, due to overfishing, which includes a destructive form that uses gruesome methods like cyanic poisoning and blasting the fish with bombs and dynamites. My God. The World Resources Institute stated that these types of fishing only bring short-term profit and will cost the Indonesian economy more than $600 million in losses over 20 years. Moreover, around the world, countless enormous ocean death zones will have a chance to return to life, because the rivers and the lakes that were polluted by manure and toxic fertilizers for animal feed will be left alone to purify themselves and recover. Also, when we stop vacuuming all the poor fish out of the sea, they will have a chance to restore the balance in the oceans. We desperately need the fishes in the sea to balance the ocean. Otherwise, our lives will be in danger. God put them there for a reason. By the way, at least 1/3 of all the world's fish caught and murdered today is fed to livestock. not to us human even. On land, millions of hectares will be spared livestock serious effects of soil erosion, deforestation, poisonous water pollution, and displacement of wildlife. If or turn to vegan. Scientists found that forests are resilient and can grow back if given a chance, very fast. We have seen that evidence in some part of the world. The scientists also observed that when the ocean is healthy again, even the dead coral reefs will revive themselves. Imagine, nature is miraculous and, incredible. But in order to witness nature's recovery, we must not let our current way of life continue. We cannot continue this way, or else we will pass the point of no return, and then we will have runaway planetary crisis. Then we might lose the whole planet, or the life on the planet. Fortunately, we have the solution ready at hand, which is the organic vegan solution. It's so simple, so easy, we might overlook it. We might not believe it. But if we look into all the scientific and the physical evidence so far, we have to accept this organic vegan solution as the one and only to save our planet right now. Instead of spending more money on new technology, we even save money from having to buy meat and subsidize meat with our tax dollars. We simply cannot depend on green technology alone. Now there is also an invisible aspect to the reversal in the destruction. A compassionate person harms no one and therefore brings no harm upon himself. That is why in Buddhism they say that the moment we drop the butcher knife, then we are protected. Then we can become the Buddha, the saint. It's really like that. We hear real stories about hospital patients who had terminal sickness like cancer, turned vegetarian or vegan, and then the tumor disappeared. So operations were cancelled and doctors were very astonished. So people turned to vegans and the terminal cancer situation is gone and operation canceled and doctors were very surprised. Because the vegan diet protects us inside out, starting immediately, so that all kinds of calamities will avoid us, stay away from us. And on a bigger scale, our planet will also be healed, just like an individual being healed by turning into a compassionate diet. Like attract like. The good, loving, compassionate energy will ward off the darkness that is looming toward us, that is next to us right now. We will, in short, have a paradise on earth. If you have ever wondered what that might be like, we may soon live to see the day when all beings will truly live by your nation's motto, that is, unity in diversity, in oneness, understanding, caring, faith, and happiness. I invite everyone to share the hopeful vision that we will save the planet and will make it a heaven one. Besides destroying our precious forest, livestock farms also contaminate or even completely kill our water systems. They degrade once a fertile soil, they destroy our biodiversity, and they release vast amounts of extremely dangerous methane and nitrous oxide. And what you call that hydrogen sulfide as well? Yeah? Which are heating up the planet now 100 times, 300 times more than carbon dioxide. So please keep your aeroplane, keep your car, keep your train, keep your ship, and leave them alone for the time being. Just take out the meat from our diet and stop blaming the CO2 for every problem of global warming on our planet. We are to be blamed. The meat industry is to be blamed.